So here's Kaimi Fairbairn to do the honors. And in front of a raucous crowd, this one is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, it's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. On 2nd down, Wilson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. DJ Reader in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go. He rifles one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. After the interception, here's Watson. Steps away to his left. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. He was trying to hit Thomas that time.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Brandon Dunn coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And here comes the Texans now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. They go play action here on 1st down. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Got some real estate inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Play action from Miller. Now Watson. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Shamar Stephen able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And it's now 3-0 Texans. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Let's go get another one. Let's go get another one. Come on. 14.
This is Carson. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vannett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
14.
They run it with Carson. And he stopped immediately there. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
On second down, here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 24 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Carson. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout.
Tempo, baby, let's go. Let's go to work. Come on.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Run left, run left. Diva, Diva. 14. Gun, gun, gun.
From the gun, Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Janikowski good with the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Watson going deep for Hopkins. He's got him in, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Richmond. Richmond.
Watson off play action. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here.
4 down, 4 down. Richmond. Tiger.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10.
Tempo. Let's go, 14. Shotgun. Gun. Shotgun. Gun. 18.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30.
Come back.
Here's Watson. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, they were Coming out of the 4-3 defensively, pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Off of play action, it's Watson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 56 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long. The 1st down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful. And now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Buying time to his left. Evades him at the 20. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Fuller. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
They get it to him running left. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Shifts by him. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. Flushed out right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 30 yards there.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And they'll run it here. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now Wilson. This is caught. Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Trey Madden taking it in from a yard out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the fourth. And it's no good. Well, that could be a critical miss here in a one-score game in the fourth. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went.
And that's caught at the 25. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Watson hitting Fuller with a big one, 42 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. After the run, Watson going to throw. Dumps it complete to Miller. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd and goal. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now this time he'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Shotgun.
Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Wilson on the keeper. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So the D-line got the push there against the O-line to stop that quarterback sneak.
A really high percentage call on offense. I think it's the right call. But as you noted, if they didn't get the push, You can't get in there. There's no place for him to go. And that's why the whole play got stuffed.
Past the 20. A huge play there for Houston. 42 yards. So what a run. And now, they probably started this drive thinking, hey, field goal range, tie it up. Now you might be thinking touchdown.
I think the offensive coordinator's probably switched his attention on his play sheet. Remember, he started out, as you said, field goal. Let's tie this up. Now he's in the touchdown range. Let's dial something up and win this game.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown of the night. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They're down here in a one-score. It's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Yeah, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. It's a big play there for Seattle. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Back to throw. Dancing to his left. He's going to let it fly. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Back to throw. And nearly intercepted there. That would have been ball game if he had clinched it and caught it. Instead, it gives him one more chance here on 4th down. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. One last shot for Wilson. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.
Okay, you got it. Look. Go. Go. Look at you go. Okay, you bubbling. Look. Yeah. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper. Had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me. Bet on my bacon, big and flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cap a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Out in life in 9/11, folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead places in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Patience thinner than a penny hoe.
Get over here and empty your pockets. I don't do that. You might frisk me. You do what I tell you. Get over here. He's gonna get nasty.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never get anybody, but I got something to do with it. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him the 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for war like I'm Russian, ladies should never the luggage, my diamonds they tussling, my neck and my belly on, they calling for me and they, you want me like me and I look, yeah, her Rex on her, yeah, B-Rex better calm down, yeah, if you go around, come around, yeah, whole squad, yeah, squad goes on the, yeah, make some orange gel on my toes, yeah, Farrakhan glass for the chosen.
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you to MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This crowd a few minutes ago stirred into action at the side of their men in blue emerging from the MetLife tunnels. We're set to go as the Giants get ready to match up with the Cleveland Browns. Aldrick Rosas, the Giants kicker, ready to go. And here we go from MetLife Stadium. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit! Detroit!
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. Mayfield now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Taken in at the 22. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 46. On play action, it's Manning. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Oh, nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now this time, Manning will throw. He dumps it off to Barkley. So he got 3 at 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. 2
yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Manning. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham from 10 yards out. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead.